Okay, I've been saying it again and again and again. You gotta get out of these cities, man. They is going nuts right now. New York City has now officially started to mandate vaccines. Mandate vaccines just to go into restaurants or gyms or see performances or really just do anything indoors. You now must have a vaccine. It has gone to the point where it is now show me your papers. That is how far we have gone. It is so funny. People used to say, man, saying that the government, giving this government power is going to lead to something like, Germany, it's just a slippery slope fallacy. It's a slippery slope fallacy. You know what? Matt Walsh had a good comment where he said, they're kind of right. It was a fallacy because it happened much quicker. It happened much quicker than what a normal slippery slope would imply, right? This was a slippery slope. This is us falling off a damn cliff, right? We went from here to here like that. All we had to do was give the government a little bit of power. We gave them an inch and they took an effing mile, all right? We said, okay, you know what? 2 weeks to close this, or just slow to spread. Just 2 weeks. That's fine. That's fine. And now here we are over a year later, and New York City is going to be saying, "Show me your papers, or else you cannot go to the gym." If you want to be healthy to avoid getting COVID in the first place, or at least be able to recover well from it, no, you're not allowed to do it. Unless you have the vaccine, of course. Hey, then you can come on in. Show me your papers is now going to be New York's new motto at this point, right? This is beyond insanity. This is beyond anything people were predicting. For a while there, people were saying before the vaccine was pushed out that the whole idea that it was going to evolve into a show me your papers type society was conspiracy theory, of course. We were all conspiracy theorists for saying it. And now New York City is the first city to, of course, do these sort of mandates. Now, obviously, I don't live in New York. I don't care to live in New York. I was in New York 6 months ago for business. I was there for 3 months. It sucked. I used to like New York. I honestly used to like you guys over there, all right? It was a fun city. Did a lot of things. Saw some boxing matches. Absolutely loved it. But last time I was there, no joke, people were shooting up in the middle of freaking Times Square. Right? I'm not talking like outside near a back alley. I'm not talking over in the Bronx. I'm not talking about Queens. I'm talking about right smack dab in Times Square. There's a dude laying on there with his pants half down, shooting needles into his leg. That is what was going on when I was there just about half a year ago. Lord knows what it's like right now, right? Lord only knows what it's like right now. I do not know how anyone is still there. Either way, we got the story here from Politico where New York City is set to start their mandate for saying, hey, you got to have the vaccines if you want to do anything basically in the city. New York Mayor Bill de Blasio announced a new policy Tuesday that requires people to show proof of COVID-19 vaccination to dine inside restaurants, work out at a gym. Work out at a gym, guys. All right, if you want to go and, again, be healthy, no. Show me your papers. Show me your papers. Attend a play or go out dancing. The new program to unlock New York City. Unlock it. That is so ridiculous. Unlocking it. Yeah, maybe for a select few. Will begin August 16th with the enforcement set to start on September 13th, according to City Hall. Enforcement will fall to the city health department and businesses could be fined, though details still need to be worked out in the coming weeks, the mayor said. So, real quick, just so everyone's aware, very, very, very pro-vaccine over here, right? Gave my kid a bunch of vaccine. He's about 4 months. He's about to have another round of vaccines. I am all for vaccines. Vaccines are great. Vaccines basically make us superhumans, right? I mean, we can avoid so many, illnesses. It's nuts. Vaccines are awesome. Of course, before you even consider getting any vaccine, though, you should go talk to your doctor because your doctor is going to be the one who tells you whether or not this particular vaccine is something either A, you need, or B, is something that, is healthy for you. Many people have adverse reactions to different things, which is why it's important for us to talk to our doctors to figure this out. Now, my doctor told me not to get the vaccine. Why? Because I had just had COVID. He said that basically either A, when someone has COVID and they go right to getting a vaccine, that could be somewhat dangerous, so he didn't recommend it. And B, he said there really isn't any need for me to get it because, well, I've already got COVID. I got the antibodies. I'm good to go, right? The reality is either A, you're going to get COVID, or B, you're going to get the vaccine. right? You're not going to avoid getting COVID, right? You're not going to avoid these two options. You're going to have one area. You're going to get the disease or you're going to get the vaccine. Hey, you know what? If that's what route you want to go, talk to your doctor, figure it out, right? But I'm very pro-vaccine. But how the hell can you enforce this? How the hell can you tell people you must, under threat of a gun, and that's what it really is, because say you don't obey these rules, right? Someone with a gun is going to come and arrest you. That's every rule, every law that's passed is enforced at the barrel of a gun. This is a very important detail we always need to remember when passing any laws, right? Any laws whatsoever. When you're passing a law, you have to ask yourself, are you willing to kill someone to enforce this law? Obviously, if someone wants to murder someone, then yes, I'm willing to kill that person to enforce the no murder rule. Someone's trying to break and enter someone's house, yes, I think it's fair to say that if you have to, killing them is a worthy thing to do to stop people from breaking into people's properties. So that must be done. But it's also why when it comes to stuff like, stuff like marijuana, just because you're smoking some pot, I don't want to kill you to stop you, right? I'm not that intent on trying to stop you. I'm willing to kill you, so it doesn't make sense to have a law on it. So when you're creating a law, especially like right here, you're really telling people you will obey this mandate. You will get a vaccine or you will not go to indoor restaurants, gyms, or performances, or else someone with a gun will come and tell you otherwise. Are you willing to kill someone to enforce the mandate? Because again, that is what every law, every mandate is enforced by. Someone holding a gun. That is how far they're now willing to go. They are now willing to have a guy point a gun at you saying you will turn in your papers. You will not go to restaurants. You will not go to gyms unless you're vaccinated. That's how far they're willing to go at this point. So he has a comment here. When someone is vaccinated, they can do all the amazing things in New York City. De Blasio said Tuesday, if you're unvaccinated, unfortunately, you will not be able to participate in many things. This is crucial because we know this will encourage a lot more vaccinations. So again, they're trying to push vaccinations, not through the doctors, telling them, hey, you should talk to your patients and try to figure out maybe why aren't they getting vaccinated, right? We know in New York, of course, the majority of people who are unvaccinated, well, they're in the Black and Hispanic community, which I have to say is hardly the far right they keep blaming for all of this. They keep blaming people like de Blasio and Greg Abbott over there in Florida and Texas, saying, oh, they're the reason why people aren't getting this stuff, even though they've been pro-vaccine since the beginning as well. The reality is that the people who aren't getting vaccines are not Republicans for the most part. It's kind of just everyone. A lot of people aren't getting it. And a lot of people have different reasons why. I again talked to my doctor. My wife talked to our doctor. Both of our doctors said, you know what, probably not best for you. My wife, she just had a kid. We might be also starting to maybe try another kid. So they didn't recommend the vaccine because there's still some questions on that front, right? My doctor, I already had COVID, so no need for it. Meanwhile, my grandparents, their doctor said, yes, you need to get this because you're in your 80s and you can die from this disease. So they got the vaccine. So it's should be being pushed in a way of saying, hey, go talk to your doctor. Figure out, should you get it, should you not? More than likely, the answer is going to be yes, you can get it. But at least that way, we can at least have some accountability here. Just saying, hey, get the jab, or else you won't be able to go to the gym. You won't be able to participate in this, in all the great things. Look at all the stuff we're doing over here. If you don't go ahead and take this medicine, you don't get to do it. And so, of course, it's going to encourage people to take medicine, in some cases, against their doctor's recommendations. Again, my doctor and my wife's doctor said, you shouldn't get the vaccine at this point because of what our issues were. Again, not saying it's for everyone. It's just for what our issues were. So if I went to New York, what de Blasio is saying is, hey, go against your doctor's orders, man. Look at all the fun we're having. Go against his orders. You don't need to listen to your doctor. You can come on over here with us once you get the injection. That's all you need to do. Look at all the fun we're having over here, man. Don't you want to be a part of this? Don't listen to him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. We know what we're talking about, though. We politicians know what we're talking about. Don't listen to your doctor. That is what they're saying to people all throughout New York at this point. So de Blasio's announcement marks one of the most aggressive steps taken by an elected official to combat the rise of COVID-19 cases by the Delta variant in late July. The mayor mandated that unvaccinated city hospital workers and clinical staff in city's health department submit to weekly COVID tests, a move first reported by Politico as city employment for new hires is contingent on vaccinations. So now, in a time when we should need more nurses and more doctors, of course, because of how bad all this stuff is, now we're going to be very picky now about who we do and do not hire, because let's face it, there's a lot of nurses out there who don't want to take it. There's a lot of doctors I've met who don't want to take it. They might have their own medical reasons. I don't know their medical history, obviously, so I have no idea why not. But that's their choice. So we're now going to be very picky on who we're hiring when we know we have apparently an influx of people coming into doctors' offices? Come on, makes no sense. An official described the move as just the first step towards wider vaccine requirements in the nation's biggest state. So wider vaccine requirements. Oh, I didn't see that. So they're now straight up telling us they're planning wider vaccine requirements in the future. The mayor is now 100% on board and aggressively pushing vaccine certification. The City Hall official familiar with the discussion, who asked for anonymity to speak ahead of the formal announcement. De Blasio wants it for everything indoors, public and private. That is, God, I want to cuss so bad. That is absolutely ridiculous. Private property. Listen, I'm actually on the side of businesses saying, listen, if you don't want to get the vaccine, you can't work for us. Why? Because for the most part, I'm libertarian. Again, kind of, not big L, kind of small L libertarian, right? That's where my stance is. If you don't like it, find a different job. That's just kind of how things go. But on the inverse, if I'm a business and I don't want to enforce this, there should be no way for the government to be able to tell people what they can and can't do with their own business at that point, right? They're saying that, businesses have a right, of course, to do things that when we like them to do it, but not when the inverse happens, right? If a business is enforcing the vaccine, well, they're a private business. They can do what they want. If a business says, well, we're not going to enforce it, they go, wow, they're a private business. They have no right, even though they're a private business, they have no rights to put people at risk. Quick, mandated. Private businesses is absolutely absurd. But obviously has to scale implementation and expects a lot of pushback. Damn straight a lot of pushback. Damn straight. How are you going to enforce this? How is every business going to sit there and say, hey, where's your vaccine card? Where's your papers? Where's your papers? Everywhere you go through New York, where's your papers? And also, I'm going to put it this way, the vaccine card doesn't even fit in your damn wallet, right? I mean, come on. They're saying voter ID. Voter ID is racist. Yet, forcing people to have a vaccine card isn't? What lunacy is this? Absolute lunacy. The officials added that New York City wants to lead the nation in this regard. You know what? Real quick, because for the most part it just goes on, of course, lauding the fact of what they've done. I'm not going to go through everything because we've already gone for a little while, but they're right, they are leading the nation. Over here is a post I made, and it's the death rates of coronavirus for per 100,000 people. And look who's leading the way up here. New Jersey and New York. Hey, there you go. Good job, New York. You're definitely leading the country, right? I wonder where those evil Florida and Texas are. Oh, wait, let's see. Florida, Texas. Down here. Look at that. Mid-tier. Florida and Texas. They awful states, apparently. Of course, nearly half the death rate of New York and New Jersey per 100,000 people. What about South Dakota? I know they didn't do any lockdowns at all. No lockdowns, as a matter of fact. I believe they didn't do any mask mandates almost ever. And what do you know? They're still higher, but look who's leading the way. Leading the way, of course, is New York and New Jersey. That's just great. So what do you think, everybody? I gotta say, with these mandates, are we going to be seeing this in more cities? Or are we going to be seeing this in more places? Or is this strictly just a New York? New York is an insane hellhole type situation, right? Is this only going to be in New York and California, or is this going to be all across the nation at some point. You let us know here in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this video, please go ahead and subscribe, like the video as well. And if you want to check us out on some of the other platforms, of course we got BitChute over there, Minds.com. We also stream on Twitch Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays at 8 o'clock Eastern time, so join us over there too if you want. Either way, hope you all have a great rest of the day. Until next time, peace.